Hi, I'm Chen Tan from Pearl International Hotel. You're watching the weekly review on channel 127 UniFi.
Hi, welcome back to the weekly review with me, Nora. Now, some say it is a state with no hope, but with all the conflicts happening, Palestine has always been optimistic, with ambassadors around the world coming forward promoting its states towards a better economy. Palestine has a ray of hope nonetheless. I had a chance to talk to its ambassador to Malaysia, His Excellency Abdelaziz Aboughosh, of what he thinks of Palestine, the current state, his hope and peace, and his drive towards the better of Palestine. Well, what is your strong points of view in your country?
Our rights, our inalienable rights, our belief in our regaining of our national rights, including our rights to return to our homeland and to establish our independent state where we can exercise our right of self-determination in our homeland. And of course, prosperity and welfare for our people in the future.
Right.
We do believe that we have the right to have our independence in our homeland, occupied land now by Israel. That means the 1967 occupied Palestine, that means West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem as its capital. This is the strong point that we are fighting for long years now, but unfortunately till now we still living under the Israeli occupation, while we have the majority of the world beside us and supporting us.
Right.
So we are a people who have hope and we have faith that we will achieve our goals in independence and freedom and to live in liberty.
Right. So right now, going on all the political matters, that we are currently going, that you are currently going on right now in your country, which sectors are mostly the most important to Palestine to, gain your investors' confidence?
First, we have to end to end our occupation of our land, because it is the most important step for any development of any country. And the report of the EU or the report of the International Bank says so openly. The one who stopped the development of the Palestinians is the occupation, the Israeli occupation. We do have a lot of fields we can develop, and we have the aim to develop it. First, the communication, information and communication field. Second, tourism. Palestine is the place of the three holy places,
right,
in East Jerusalem and in other parts. And we have also the archaeologists all over our country. It's an ancient country. It's more than 5,000 years of civilization in Palestine. So there is tourism is the pillar actually of Palestine. Before we have the agriculture, we have the best fruits, vegetables and this and that. But because the occupation are confiscating our land and building settlements over it, preventing even the farmers, of the Palestinian farmers, from planting and putting walls or checkpoints or hindering the export till it, even prevented from exporting the products of Palestine.
So one of the major sectors that contributed to most to Palestinian GDP before the occupation is tourism, communication, and also agriculture.
No, this field we have to develop it.
Develop.
You know, for investors, you know. It's one of all the fields also can be developed, you know. You know, and needed investors to develop them.
So before all this,
Then of course tourism was the most. You know, Muslims go for Al-Quds as the first Qibla and the third mosque. Christians go to have their religion in Jerusalem and Bethlehem, and also in other places. Third, we have the Dead Sea, you know, as a resort and something like that, and tourism. Even the West Bank was the place where a lot of our brothers, the Arabs, were going summer because the weather is very nice and it's suitable for.
So tourism, I can see plays a major part, important part in the Palestinian GDP before
That's right.
So how much does tourism contributes to the overall GDP of Palestine before this?
Before this, you know, if there is no occupation, I think we need nobody. We need not any of the donor countries to help us, because our economy will be sufficient. It will not be the greatest economy, but it will be sufficient to our people, and we don't need any assistance from others.
So can we say that tourism maybe generates about like 50% of the overall GDP of Palestine before this?
Tourism, it has, let us say, 35. We have the know-how. The Palestinians are educated people. They work all over the world. And we have the know-how on different fields. If our independent state is there, then the pharmaceutical, as an example, manufacturers will be easy for the Palestinian investors or the foreign investors to have in Palestine. We have also the agriculture we can also develop.
Right.
Besides, also we have the marble, the stones, which is very famous in Palestine and outside. We export stones even to China, as an example. One of the countries we export, of course.
But nowadays, you know, economic stability in the Palestine is quite sluggish. So, how did you attract investors, you know, to gain just a little bit of their confidence to trade?
First, we are giving them free of any, you know, taxation for a certain period of time. Besides, also we have a partnership of investing in different fields, and there is a lot of Palestinians, business people. They want also to extend and to cooperate with other investors. We did convene two major meetings for investors, and we have more, and we call it Bethlehem 2000, and last year also we have another meeting of Bethlehem for the investors from different countries of the world. And we have transparency in all the fields, and we guarantee the investors to succeed in their business, because when they are partners, the two partners want to succeed in this.
Right. So, can I ask you, what are the sectors currently now of interest between Palestine and also foreign investors?
We see first the international communication technology. the pharmaceutical, pharmacy, and then textile, agriculture, food and beverage, and stones and marble, and in tourism too. These are some of the fields that we can have cooperation with different investors of the world.
So currently, what are the fields that are, what is the mostly type of field, maybe international communications or textiles or food or pharmaceuticals that are currently off the hands of foreign investors to invest more in your country then?
These are the fields that they can work on really investing in our country. And as I said, even in tourism, also tourism is a very important field for us, and there is a possibility of developing it.
Right, right.
Yeah. When you speak about more than 1 billion Muslims want to visit, or more than 1.5 billion Christians want to visit the holy places, and also Jews want to visit. This is, at least, it is a field that you can develop. And tourism, when you speak about tourism, you will speak about the infrastructure, you are speaking about the hotels, the restaurants.
Services sector.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
very wide and with different fields.
Can I ask you, before the incubation, what are the countries that most actively import-export with Palestine?
Before the incubation, we were had unity with the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. And of course the Arab countries, the Muslim countries, even Europe. We have always cooperation on these things and development. And now Europe is one of the most donor countries to Palestine.
Right, right. Is anywhere from China, maybe?
There is, of course.
So
what we have a good relation with China, and China is one of the first countries that recognize Palestine and help Palestine too.
So before the incubations, what are the countries that currently proceed in business with Palestine, and these countries, maybe Europe, how much do they?
Yeah, because the close, we're speaking about the geographical distance between.
Yeah, the location.
We, as an example, the olive oil of Palestine is very well known. Olive tree, for this, we are consider the olive tree is a holy tree, because from it we can produce a lot of things, not only the olive, the olive oil, the soaps,
right.
The wood itself, and even fertilizer. So this tree is for us is one of the most important trees that we are planting.
Okay, right now. So moving on, between bilateral relationship between Malaysia and Palestine, right now.
It is developing, because the problem was the occupation first, which prevent the Malaysians from going there. Secondly, it is the distance, the geographical distance. But we are trying to have more relations in the future. We have a plan that our Minister of Economy to visit Malaysia next month, and there we are thinking of having an permanent exhibition of the Palestinian products in Kuala Lumpur for the whole area. Third, we are participating in a lot of the halal, exhibitions which are taking place, and next month is one of the examples. We do also try to encourage tourism from Malaysia to Palestine, in spite of the occupation.
Yeah.
Because we believe breaking the siege on Jerusalem is a message for every human being to do so, and not to let the Israelis to isolate Jerusalem and to Judaize it.
Right.
For this we are asking all the Muslims and Christians, all believers, to visit the holy places and to visit Bayt al-Maqdis and the other holy places in Hebron, Bethlehem, and other in the occupied Palestine.
Currently, how much is the total trade between Palestine and Malaysia? Palestine, Malaysia, and
It
Malaysia?
is not so high. It's not so high. Due that high, so because Palestine under occupation.
Right.
But
maybe
really
in the range of how many thousand?
I cannot say, because when it is little, it is very little. But we do believe that it's increasing now. We encourage our business people even to come here to import some of the goods, and especially food and beverage from Malaysia to Palestine, to also import certain things that they can use it in Palestine, and the occupation will not put hinders and obstacles from importing these kinds of
So
things.
speaking about your works in the Malaysia itself, I mean your projects between the Malaysian counterparts.
Our work is maybe three major things. One, we have the Palestinian students who is educated in Malaysia, and most of them are postgraduate students. We have more than 1,000 students. Besides, also, we do have some business people started to come and to create, relationship between in business between Malaysia and Palestine. And the most important thing is the political support of Malaysia to Palestine in different fields, and in all international arena, either in the regional organization like OIC and NAM, or in the international arena like the United Nations and its agencies. So this is very important, of course, field, because we feel that when the Malaysians as brothers supporting us in all these fields, and especially in such situation, is a good example for others to do so.
So one last question before we end our session. Do you think that after maybe apart from the incubation, if there aren't any Israelis to start off with, how well will the sectors such as pharmaceuticals, education, tourism, the services sector will contribute to the Palestine gross domestic product?
It will be a highly, and a very privileged and successful investment in all these different fields.
Is it possible that this all these sectors will definitely grow to twofold every year?
Yes. And it will really play a big role. It's first, the relationship between the Palestinian and the Malaysian is very, very, very strong. And they will be welcomed by visitors from Malaysia to go to Palestine and to invest in different fields. And they will have the cooperation in different in many fields. Also, which Malaysia, for us, a good example of Muslim countries, developing Muslim country. For this, when you talk to any Palestinian, he believes that Malaysia will play a big role in the future Palestine.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much,
You
Mr.
are welcome.
Abdelaziz.
Services remained the largest sector in the Palestinian economy in the first quarter of 2012, according to newly released data. The sector contributed 23.8% of quarterly nominal GDP, 19.8% in the West Bank, and 33.2% in Gaza. It is most significant in terms of number of jobs, providing 57.1% of employment in the West Bank and 70.1% in Gaza. Now, the vast majority of Gazan women worked in services, about 89.5%, although only 13.7% participate in the labor force. 63.4% of all waged employees worked in the services sector, as well as 50.3% of the self-employed, 46.7% of employers, and 31.3% of unpaid family members.
Well, according to the Palestine Economic Policy Research Institute report released recently, found the closure regime in the West Bank and the ongoing blockade of Gaza continue to be major drivers of the high levels of food insecurity. However, according to the report, some recent economic growth and social assistance in the West Bank and Gaza, and the informal tunnel trade and partial easing of Israeli movement and access restriction in 2010 in Gaza all contributed to improvements in food security. There is light at the end of every tunnel, after all, for Palestine. Don't forget to send us your feedback on our show at our Facebook page, facebook.com/BigReviewCapital. We're taking for a short breather right now. We'll be right back after these messages.